Hi everyone, good day to you anywhere you're listening. My name is Yemi Olaleye. I welcome you to this week market forecast starting from the Monday 29th of September 2025 till Friday, October 3rd, 2025, and focusing directly only on the high impact news from the forestfactory.com as usual, where we have our economic calendar. On Monday, we have no high impact news. On Tuesday, 30th, we have high impact news on AUD and Canadian dollar, and as well as US dollar. AUD coming up with the RBA rate statement. Canadian dollar is bank holiday, and JOLTS job openings on the US dollar. 1st of October, which is a national public holiday for Nigerians. October 1st, we have US dollar coming up 1:15 p.m. and 3 p.m. Nigerian time, focusing on ADP non-farm employment change and ISM manufacturing PMI. On Thursday, which happens to be my birthday, on the 2nd of October, CHF is coming up 7:30 a.m., which is the CPI monthly by monthly, and 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time is for US dollar unemployment claims. And this will be an indicator for what we should be expecting on the Friday, which is a big day, which is the non-farm payroll. And Friday, October 3rd, of course, we're expecting JPY impact news where Governor Ueda will be speaking at 2:05 a.m. Nigerian time. And also, we have our impact news on US dollar, 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time, which is the average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate coming up at the same time. And this tends to push the market significantly. And it is important that you know how to manage your trade on this day. 2:20 p.m. Griffith Pounds is coming, 3 p.m. the last high impact news for the day. Those are the highlights for the week on the fundamental perspective of the business. Quickly, let's go to what we have for the technical outlook. Now, starting from the DXY, which we direct what we want to do on the dollar pairs for the week. Last week was a very good one for us because we had an opportunity to catch some beautiful trades and setups from what we had in analysis for last week. On the daily time frame perspective, we expected the price of the XY to dump into this level before it becomes strong in economic strength. So we can sell Great Britain pounds, US dollar, Euro USD, and the rest of US dollar pairs. And as you can see, that exactly happened. So for this week, let's see what we have for the week and let's see the opportunity that is ahead of us. Quickly, I'll go to the daily time frame, to the weekly time frame perspective, and I will share what I have for you. Right here, we've seen how the market has taken significant level, a chunk of liquidity right from here. And of course, before now, we've said this level was a weekly demand zone where we anticipate a bullish momentum, right? And at some point in time, I also shared with you why the market has been raging so much here, which makes it a little bit irritating because you can't really take a lot of confidence to take a direction in the market as at then. But what do you notice? At this point for previous week, I told you the market actually created a liquidity below this price range, grabbed liquidity below it, and closed just above it. Last week, I said if we have bullish momentum, we're expecting the price to get to this dotted line. As you can see that is at 100.253. And currently for last week, we had a significant bullish candlestick closing above the closing price of the previous week. And currently, the price is sitting on 182. Okay, now for this week, what are we expecting? Rather, are we expecting more bullish momentum on the market for this week going forward? Just like this. To make it more sensible, let's go to the lower time frame perspective of that, and that is the daily time frame perspective. Look at what the price is showing here on the daily time frame. This was the last low price, the previous lower high price level that we broke right here. The price broke here. There's a structure, as you can see. This is a major structure here. So what can you see there? The market created an opportunity to also still go down to grab liquidity before it starts buying, which is very, very fair. And where are we looking at this? I'm looking at 2 points, basically. I'm looking at here, and also I am looking at a price level like this, which is also an important zone for me to see if the price will come back there in the future before we can take a buy. Ideally, what does that mean to you? I will be looking forward to see more bearish momentum into this range, just like that and just like that. So this is what I'm looking at. Or peradventure, the price actually find its way into here. I'm sensing the price might actually do a gap down. If the price actually do a gap down, if the price gap down into a range like this, then it's also very good for us to do what? To look forward to start selling Euro US dollar and Great Britain pounds US dollar. So this is the outlook I have on this. On the 4-hour time frame perspective, let's go there and see. Furthermore, on 4-hour time frame, it gave us more refinement. And what does that mean? I can actually still have a way to minimize my risk in this market. What does that mean? I can take out all of the entry points I have here before now. I can look for a demand zone, which was the previous level, which is here, right here. And I can also expect more bullish momentum from here. So which means either ways, I am still in a very, very good spot to expect a buy from here. So ideally, this is what I'll be looking at for the week. And this is my outlook on the XY 4-hour time frame perspective. If I go to 1-hour time frame, you're going to see it's almost the same because right here, I'll be waiting for the price to just dump into this level and I pick a buy from here and I move on. So if I'm going to do that, that means I'm going to actually shift this level a little bit to minimize my risk. All right. But to keep it simple, I think the 4 hours is fine for me. I can sit with that and I can wait for that to happen. That is really, really good. Okay. Going to the next one where we have the higher time frame perspective. I'll go to 4 hours. I can just relate what happened. So last week we expected the market to buy from this price level to this price level before it starts selling to this price level here. That happened. It bought little, about 60 pips before it starts selling, and it sold significantly about 100 and something pips to the downside. And of course, I was waiting for this liquidity to be packed before a bullish momentum. But that was for last week. So for this week, what are we looking at in the market? Very simple. Going to the weekly time frame analysis. Last week was a very productive one for us here, and we love it. So in the community, we are happy. On the weekly time frame for this week, what are we looking at? Well, the price has actually been ranging back and forth right here. And what you can notice from this price level is the inversion of what happened on the DXY. And can you see this? The price actually rated here on the previous week and showed that significant rejection. Last week turned out to be a bearish candlestick closing below the previous week closing price and currently sitting on 1.16979. And what does that tell you? Expecting more bearish momentum right here? Of course, yes, we have. Because if you take a good look at this and you have a trend line liquidity, you see that the price definitely will grab liquidity. When it will be, we can't really tell, but ideally, we're expecting more bearish momentum from here, expecting the price to break continuously, right? Below here and do all of this and all of that and all of that. So in the future, we can talk more about how this is going to be. So finally, I can say I'll be expecting more bearish momentum on this till the price gets here, which is also a point of interest in the future. And we can go to lower time frame. So let's go to the lower time frame and enjoy the analysis and see exactly what we're looking at. So on the daily time frame perspective, look at what we have here. Very simple, very, very simple. Now we have two different price levels where the market can actually go into to grab a sell opportunity. This is the first point of interest or the second point of interest rather, and this is the first point of interest. So when you look at this from this perspective, we can actually expect the price to do a bit of buy into this range and continue to sell from there. So from here, I can be waiting for more sell momentum in the market, continuation of this sell like this. So this is one of the things. And of course, I can actually wait to see price coming into this range before I start selling off. And it is very possible the market actually jump up right here. We call it gap up. Market can actually gap up into this range. And if it does, go to a lower time frame like 15 minutes to look for bearish candlestick formation pattern that confirms a sell. Then from there, you can take a beautiful sell down to the lower price. So on the 4-hour time frame perspective, let's see what we have here. It's very, very simple as well. As you can see here, it's pushing to the upside. So with this, I can refine my entry whereby I can have something like this. Let me share that with you quickly. I can have, no, I have to bring this back. Sorry. I have to bring this back. Okay, to save my time. So I can take this out. I can do something like this here. All right, so this is a range here as well. This is a supply zone, which I've seen before now. So I can wait for the price to actually still move into this range. That's a bit of buying of about 50 pips on average into this level before I can expect the market to actually start selling. But regardless, it is good. I look forward to see different price levels, different opportunities in the market. Where and where will I be looking for? This looks good, but I will likely be looking for this level to play out. Or of course, at this supply zone. So either of these two, it's very, very fine. This is one zone here, which is the supply zone, as you can see that. Of course, above it is the level that we have on the daily time frame perspective, which is a fair value gap zone. So that is also very, very simple. So right here, if the market opens for a buy, it's okay. I'm looking for it to buy into this range before I look for a sell on it. And this sell is going to be massive. Okay. it's going to be massive because ideally I'm still targeting a price level like this to see a sell coming into, and from there is when I want to start buying from. So look at it right here. This is where my anticipation is, and this is from 4 hour time frame perspective. 4 hours time frame perspective. If you check that, you're going to see, oh, uh, okay, this is about 200 and something pips. So keep that simple. This is my outlook on that. Okay, this is on 4 hour time frame perspective on Euro USD. Going to the next one rather. This was a significant bullish momentum for bearish momentum for us last week. We made money on £15 US dollar as well, but there's no time for that. So let's go to the weekly time frame perspective and see what we have. On the weekly time frame perspective, yes, we've had the momentum for the previous week, grab liquidity above the previous highs right here, which was here. And with that now, this week showed us a bearish momentum signal, which was just right here, closing below the previous week low. And that also means that we've seen liquidity below the previous low, and we've seen liquidity above the previous high. Now we're sandwiched. So what exactly are we going to do? With this outlook, therefore, is it going to still buy or sell? Well, it's looking bearish, but let's make it clear. On the daily time frame perspective, we have other zones that can give us more bullish, bearish momentum signal, which one of them is here. And the second one we have is sitting just above it, below it rather, which is around here. So this is also a bearish fair value gap zone, which we can expect the price to come into in the days to come. But ideally, the way I look at this, I'm not expecting this. I'm not going to wait for this. I will rather wait for this to play out, and from there I move and expect more bearish momentum on the £15 US dollar. So which means that this one I can take it out. I'm not looking into it. I want it to get here actually. I prefer if it gets here. It gives me more confidence if it goes higher than this. Okay, so from there I can expect more bearish momentum on this. On the 4 time frame perspective, let's keep it very, very simple. Oops, yeah. For our time frame, I can refine. I mean, refining means I don't have to wait for price get into this level. If I'm using 4 hour time frame analysis, that means on 4 hour time frame, this is where we're expecting the price to get into, right? And it's we assume that this has never been there. Can you see that? So it means I can wait for the price to get here before I now start looking for more bearish momentum. And if you check that, it means the price will do about 60 pips on average into that range before we have a sell momentum in the market. Can you see that? So with this outlook now, it means after the price gets here, we can still have a bearish momentum. And what if the price actually gets here? Okay, so I'm just trying to not to leave any stone untouched, but let's talk about it briefly. What if the price actually gets here? It is also possible. I'm not just looking at it because I'm not having that significant bearish candle that drive price all away from the air. So this is when I have it, this significant candle here. So I'm taking out this one. If price goes there, it's fine, but I'm not seeing any reason I should be looking to wait for price to get there. So right here, I'm waiting for price to get in here, or I rather wait to see the price coming back into the first level I anticipated, which is the fair value gap zone, which happened around this price level. All right. So that is also one of those things I'll be looking for at the opening of the market for this week. This week is going to be a fantastic one. Overall, bearish momentum on £10 US dollar after the initial push to the upside. That's that. And going forward to the AUD US dollar, not really much here. We made money on this as well on the for last week. I expected the price to buy into this level, and when it gets into this range, we start selling off. We saw the candlestick momentum, which is a bearish arami right here, and then it sold to the level we anticipated, which was about 90 pips on average. So give or take, we made money on this as well, and the community was happy. So all I'm trying to do now is to remove everything we've thought about right here. So I want to take it out and move to the next thing. So on AUD US dollar from the weekly time frame perspective, don't forget we've always have this irritating movement here. At a point, I was looking at how the price will get to this level because it's looking like the ultimate buy zone where liquidity needs to be grabbed. But currently, we have significant bearish momentum for the past 2 weeks now, grabbing liquidity above here. And last week swept down below the previous low candle, and that means we're looking at a bearish momentum in front of us. On the daily time frame perspective, what does that really mean? Going through the chart, and you see that right here we have an opportunity to see the price buying into a price range like this. And with that outlook, therefore, it means we can be expecting more bullish momentum into the market and creating that bearish energy right there. So this is also very, very possible for us to see in the market in this week on this one. So this is the daily fair value gap zone right here. And with that now, it means we can wait for the price to actually do a significant, not really much significant anyways, about 30 pips on average into that range. But going to 4 hour time frame, do we have more opportunities there? So let's see. On the 4 hour time frame perspective, yes, we do. We have a zone there, and I think the 4 hours will be better off for me, but somehow it's coinciding with what we have on the daily, which is really good. All right. So what that means is very simple. It means I can be waiting to see the price coming into this range exactly. And with that now, it means we're expecting the price to do a bit of buy into this level, about 30 pips on average, just like what we had on the daily time frame. And with that now, it's looking like a potential head and shoulder pattern that you've always known. So with that outlook, what am I expecting? More bearish momentum after this little bullish momentum into this range. So let's keep that really, really simple. This is AUD US dollar. So that means we are going to find something like this in the market. I'm going to look for this. Okay. Just to keep it simple though. NZD US dollar, I'm not going to talk about this, but um okay, I've opened it already. So this guy, looking at it now, it's giving us a significant bearish candle as well, and it has a long way to go on the daily time frame perspective. Look at this, we have significant bearish candle here. Also, it created a fair value gap zone for us. Also, we have another one here, and this was the one we had after this low was taken out. So this was the fair value gap zone we had here. So with that outlook, therefore, it means we can actually wait for the market to do a pump into this level. This is not looking too much as I'm looking at it, but most likely the price can get in here and then we see the fire down and of course to the lower price level. And what does that mean? We have a lot of momentum to the other side. Liquidity is just below the price level, which I said before now last week. And then on 4 time frame perspective, this is how it's going to look like if the price actually does that. And with that outlook, therefore, it means we can wait significantly for this outlook to play out. And apart from that, what other thing can we see on this price level is to refine. We can see the price can come to a supply zone like this and also grab the attention from here. So the price can be grabbed from this zone. Of course, this is also very, very possible. The range here is a trap. When the market open, it is going to look different. So we can wait for the price to get in here, which is about how many pips in total? It's about 59 to 60 pips in total. And then if the price gets here, look for bearish momentum signal and the candlestick printing that bearish momentum is a good to go for you, and you can do that with a sell. Trade with it proper management, and of course your stop loss is just above that zone, 10-20 pips on 4 hour time frame perspective, which is very, very okay. So this is my outlook on that. And yes, USDCAD. That hit our stop loss level at the beginning of and during the week here, during last week, though significantly we made some bullish momentum from there, but wanted to sell from here, but the price failed that zone. And with that, let's go to what we have for this week and see the opportunity we have in the market. On the weekly time frame perspective, this is what it looks like. This looks significantly bullish. And with this outlook, therefore, all of this you're looking at, I'm expecting the price to take it out just like that. I'm expecting more bullish momentum in here for this week. So basically, this is what I'm expecting for the week. All right. So going to the lower time frame perspective of this, that will be daily time frame. On the daily time frame, what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Let's check it out. I don't want to spend so much time here today. Right here. Right here, this is a bullish fair value gap zone. Okay, so that means I can wait for the price to do something like this, something like this. All right, this is something. All right, so this is the previous high we had in the markets. This is the previous high. Okay, a significant one. This was one we've broken already. This is another one here. This is more significant. Now we've broken through that level. What are we expecting? The price to come to a price level where we have liquidity potential. And from there, let's start buying again in the future. So with this now, it means we're expecting the price to do a little bit of momentum, sell to 70 pips, 70 to 72 pips on average. And after then, if it gets here, we can look for more bullish momentum to break above this high. When it does, wait for reaction just around here. If the price does that, then it may actually print us more bearish, more bullish momentum, just like this, and this, and this, and days, so we can move, and this is our expected targets. Okay, so this is also looking really good. So the price may not actually do all of this for this week, but trust me, it's a very good outlook for the days and weeks ahead of us now. So keep it very simple and look forward to trade what you can afford to risk in the market. Okay, that is that on this. Let's see the next one we have. That would be That'll be USDJPY. On the USDJPY, last week we made some good money on this as well. We expected it to buy. It sold a little against us at the beginning of the week, which was about 65 pips, which I consider large. And of course, it bought a little of about 187 pips in total, or on average as well. So with that, I can't say this is how much we made or lost on that, because I didn't trade personally, but I dropped this signal for the group, the community. So this now, I'm looking for more bearish momentum on this before we have the bullish momentum, and I'm looking at a sell from here on the lower time frame perspective. So on the daily time frame, that's what we had. On the 4-hour time frame, this is what we're looking at. So this is what I could have looked at on the USD card before now. Maybe we could have eased ourselves off the stress of last week stop loss hit, but which was small. It's minimal, about 9 pips stop loss hit, which is very good. So right here is where I'm having a supply zone, which I'm expecting the price to get into after we had all of this range right here, liquidity grabbed from here. This was 2 weeks ago. I remember we called this move, and the price has done this for this week, expecting it to do this, and it has done that. Currently, what are we expecting on 4-hour time frame perspective? Just a little bit of more bearish momentum, and then, but let's make this clear from the high time frame perspective, okay? Look at where we have the price now. This right here, it means that we also have a fair value gap zone on daily time frame, which is right here. So is it possible for the price to still sell into this range like this before it now starts buying, and it buys to this level before it starts selling? Is it possible? We see this in the market. Yes, very, very possible. This is very, very possible. This is the daily time frame. I'm taking this out. This is the daily time frame perspective. This is possible, very possible. All right. So keep it simple. On 4-hour time frame perspective, how does it look like? Look at this here. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see that? So expecting the price to do all of this momentum back and forth, and then boom, it's fine. It's really fine. So we really have nothing to worry about. Let's wait for the market to play out. If that plays out as we anticipated, then it's a good risk for us. So we can just take that risk, expecting this to happen. All right, which is very reasonable. So for me, it is a very good one. We can give it a shot. It's a very good one, like I said. So right here, you can increase the lot size a little, but then increase it to what you can afford to lose. All right, that's the most important thing. 1-hour time frame perspective, what do we have on 1-hour time frame perspective right here? On 1-hour time frame perspective, USDJPY, it looks more like we've had significant bullish momentum, bullish ride, and of course we should have some bearish momentum too, right? Well, that is possible. If that is what the market will do, then where are we expecting the sell to get into? If the market will start selling, if the price gets in here, let's see if the price gets into this range right here, it's also a very good spot for us to look forward to look for a buy from right here. If the price does this, it is a good spot for us to look forward a buy. So I'm giving scenarios of where the market can actually come into before we have that bullish momentum. As you can see, this is also looking good. This is a demand zone right here before we broke that structure, which is very, very good. And that we give about how many pips in total? About 66 pips in total for a sell. All right. And from there, we can look forward to see a buy momentum in the market, which will give us significant movement to the upside. And that means we can place a buy just at this price level here, and then we can do all of that. But normally I don't do all of this during the session. I just do it with arrow and I move away. Okay. But let me just leave this anyways. The arrow is quite faster for me to understand that you see where the arrow is pointing, and just expect a sell from here, pick a buy from here, we pick a sell again. That's like 2-dimensional wave in the market, and that's good. So that is on 1-hour time frame perspective. But going back to 4 hours, where we have a little bit of chunky items on the chart. So this is it here. This, to keep it simple, this is what we have here. All right. This is what we have here to keep it really simple. So let's go forward to the next guy. We have about 23 minutes here. Wow, wow, wow. On this one, my analysis remains the same, just like what you're looking at, okay? I'm not looking for anything significantly different from here, just that I'm waiting for this to give me more bullish momentum in the future right here. All right, so I'm waiting for more bullish momentum on this before I'm going to sell in the future. So right here is still looking very good. USDCHF looking for more bullish momentum, but is it possible to start just like that? Well, on 1 hour time frame, I can just go to 1 hour time frame to save the time. This can also give a sell momentum into a range like this. Into a range like this, we can buy from here. If this is going to sell, we can buy from here, which is not a low probability. Well, if the price comes here and shows that bullish momentum, yes, we can do something like this here too. All right. So this is it here on the USDCHF. Okay. USDCHF. This is what I'm looking at. USDCHF. Please watch all of these pairs. Watch how they play out. Significantly, we meet a lot of pips every single weekend, every single week rather. So don't be left out. All right. GBPUSD JPY, it has got it to where I expected it to get into. It got there for last week and it sold a little of about 20 pips thereabouts. But currently, will it still sell or not? I'm not interested to check that. But this was the outlook anyways. It remains bearish. So if you're on it, you can keep on it. And your stop loss is also tight. Leave it that way. GBP Canadian dollar, I'm not interested. I'm not checking this. This one too, GBP AUD, I'm not checking it. BTC US dollar, I'm not checking it. It hit the stop loss last week, right here. Okay, so this one remains where it is. I'm not checking it. Now the last guy, I want to spend less than 30 minutes actually. So this is a gold. Currently this gold has been moving like it's been massive, really. It's been massive. Whatever I want to do on gold, I'll be looking for a buy. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, it's too much of a buy. So if I'm going to expect more bullish momentum from here, I will expect significant bearish momentum at either. So which means I can expect the price to get here. Then we can talk about buying again. If this is not happening, I'm not really looking into this. Daily time frame perspective, what do we have? For several number of days, it has been doing this consecutively. The bearish momentum the bullish momentum we have the opportunity, it has grabbed it from here. All this price level remains the same. Right here, nothing is really much. Nothing, nothing, nothing. This is massive, guys. This is really massive. So if I'm going to expect any bullish momentum from here, I will only wait to see the price getting into this range before I pick up for a buy. And it will make me safer to be on this because ideally nobody wants to get trapped on gold. Not me, not me. I won't love to get trapped on gold. This is on 4 hour time frame perspective. What does it look like on the 4 hour time frame perspective? To keep it simple, where do we have that momentum? Where do we have that bullish demand zone? This is right here, demand zone here. Look at that. This is the all-time high. Yes, this is also possible, whereby we can anticipate the price to get into this range and before we start having a buy. You can actually choose to sell from there to convert that zone to inversion, which is very, very understandable. But ideally, this is what I'll be looking at in the market. Okay. This is just my outlook in the market. All right. This is where we stop it for today. And we'll be talking again in the course of the week. I will analyze GBP CAD, GBP AUD. I'm going to be sharing that later on in course of the week, or I do that on Monday. God's willing. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you a very successful trading week ahead of you. Like, share, and subscribe. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you. God bless you. See you again. Bye for now.